Hello, we're back for another lesson in After Effects. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to import and edit Photoshop text. First, let's import a Photoshop file. So for that, if you recall, we go to the top of the screen and we click on File, Import, File. I'm going to scroll down to my Assets 3 folder and click on Credits Pasta, Photoshop file. We're going to import it as a composition and we're going to retain layer sizes. So let's open that, and we want to be sure that editable layer styles is selected and click OK. So now the credits appear here in our project panel. I'm going to drag this down to the top of the stack in the timeline. You see the blue line, and the credits appear on our screen. So remember, we imported this Photoshop file with its layers intact, so now we can animate and edit its layers independently in its own timeline panel. And to do that, we'll double-click the credits composition in the project panel, and that brings up its own panel in the timeline, or excuse me, its own timeline panel. We're going to shift-click both layers, and then to make them editable, in case we want to change any of this text, we want to go to Layer at the top of the screen, Create, Convert to Editable Text. So now both layers have converted to editable text. We can deselect both of these, and then we can double-click on either one of them. So let's double-click on the first one, Free Cooking Classes. And you see that automatically brings up the text tool and highlights the text for us. So we can change this if we choose. I'm going to get rid of the word free. And then I'm going to click the selection tool and move this over to the green line. Okay, so we can also, in the character panel, if we click on both of these layers, we can change the font. So let's change this to Kaluna Sans, which, if you recall, is the same font as we used for the fresh pasta text. So everything matches. And we could make these bold if we want, but let's do something else. Let's click on the second layer. And you see here, this is the fill color box. So we can click on this, and you can change the color of the text either by scrolling through this line or picking something in this, picking a color here. Or you can actually plug in specific numbers for the red, green, and blue. Let's try that. Let's try red 66, green 82, and blue 42. So that gives us a green color, and click OK. And now we see the text has changed here. It seems a little light. Let's make it bold. And now let's go back to our main composition. So we see this text here. It's not very easy to read, so we may change that later, but for now it just shows you how you can change the color of the text. Now if we go to the fresh pasta text layer and scroll over where we can see it, it might be interesting to change this color as well. So let's click on the eyedropper tool, and let's click on this onion skin. And you see that changes the text color to the same blended text of the onion skin below. So those are some of the things we can do. Let's go back to start and just play this and see how it looks so far. So kind of interesting. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to animate a subtitle. So we're going to play around with these subtitles and see what we can do to make those more interesting. I look forward to seeing you for that lesson, and I thank you for joining me.